Hi, I welcome you to this video where I will be discussing fractions. So whether you're a beginner or whether you're someone who needs a little bit of help and you are aware of the certain things in fractions, it'll be a wonderful refresher course for you. For those who are beginners, this is a terrific video for you. All right, stick around until the very end and catch me teach you fractions. So let's begin. So today's topic is fractions. Where are fractions used? What are fractions? We use fractions in our day-to-day lives. We use fractions predominantly when we are discussing recipes. 2.5 tablespoons of butter, 2 teaspoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt. Yeah, so we use them in measurements. Okay, on that thought, keep that thought in your head. Now, to study fractions, you have to be very good in multiplication tables. Multiplication tables, also known as in Deutsch, Einmaleins. You have to be very good at this. This helps you do fractions well. So if you're not very thorough in Einmaleins, make sure you brush up on that. So let's go. With fractions, we have a cake. Let's divide the cake into pieces now. So if you notice, how many pieces do we have in total? Keep that. Now let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total number of pieces. And this is equal to your one cake. Yeah. Now, let's say I gave my neighbor 2 pieces of the cake. I actually gave my neighbor 2 out of 8. Or it's like saying 2/8 of the cake. Now, 1/8 of the cake to my neighbor. Let's say I cut half of this cake and I gave it to a friend of mine. So it'll be said like this: 1/2 of the cake to my friend, right? It just means 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8 pieces. 4 out of 8 pieces were given to my friend. 4/8. If you remember your Einmaleins, you will understand that it is equal to half. Why? Divide this top number by 4, divide this same number by 4. I will get 1 divided by 2. Now, there is a little small rule in mathematics where whatever operation you do to the top of the equation, the same thing you have to do to the bottom. This is the only way you will keep the equation unchanged. I cannot add 3 to the top and minus 3 to the bottom. Then the equation goes wrong. I hope you've written this down. If not, pause and feel free to write it down. Now let's say to the neighbor. Yeah. I gave half of the cake to the neighbor. Fractions, we try to get fractions in the smallest number possible. It just makes life easy. So here we will have 4/8 means, right, 1/2. Why? Both these numbers can be divided by 4. Okay, now hold on to this thought. Now let's go into something called types of fractions. With types of fraction, you have 3 kinds. One is the proper kind, improper, mixed. What is a proper fraction? There's a condition for a fraction to be considered proper. That is, your numerator is smaller than the denominator. For example, I gave each child one slice out of the cake. So it is 1 by 8. 1 is lesser than 8. My numerator, which is right here, is definitely lesser than my denominator, which is 8. Any number that is less than 8. So 1 by 8, 2 by 8, 3 by 8, 4 by 8, 5 by 8, 6 by 8. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's not okay, here we go. 6 by 8, 7 by 8. All these examples are proper fractions. Why? Because these numbers, all these numbers on the top, are smaller than 8. Improper. With improper fractions, the condition is that the numerator is more than the denominator. So what happens there? You will have, let's say, the same denominator being 8. For example, 9 by 8, 10 by 8, 11 by 8, and so on. Just remember, all these numbers are increasing by 1. The denominator stays the same. I won't consider 8 by 8 because 8 by 8 is where the numerator and the denominator become equal. So they become one cake. But 9 by 8, 10 by 8, 11 by 8, 14 by 8. These are all improper fractions where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. A mixed fraction is the baby of a proper fraction and an improper fraction. I'll tell you how. For example, let's add 9 by 8 plus 3 by 8. You have an improper fraction. Here, this is your improper fraction. And here, and this little guy is your proper fraction. So you see, we have an improper fraction and a proper fraction. So the baby of these two will be 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 by 8 is the result. Now 12 by 8, how do I convert it into a mixed fraction? I'll tell you how. Write down. I'm just doing this so that it becomes very simple to add. Trying to get you to understand. So here 8 on 8 is 1. Then you have 4 by 8. I can add it without any problem because the denominator is the same, right? If it is not the same, I cannot add it. This is the specialty of fractions. You need to be able to, it's like comparing apples to apples. I cannot do this with apples and oranges. I can only compare apples to apples. So 8 on 8 is 1, and then you have 4 by 8. Now if you understand 4 by 8, it is a half actually. So I will write 1, 1 by 2. So 1 and a half, right? So pay attention to this. Write it down so that you can understand, go back, refer, or watch the video again, whichever tickles your fancy. Okay, next one. I'll give you one more example. Let's say 24 by 7. If I want this thing to be a mixed fraction, ideally 21 by 7 plus 3 by 7. This will give me 24 by 7, right? 21 by 7 is equal to 3 by 7. This is my mixed fraction. Now, this is how I will write 3/7. 3 and 3/7 of something. So, now let's look at it this way. From a mixed fraction, how do I convert it into an improper fraction? It goes like this. Let's say I have 3 and 3/7, right? 7 multiplied by this big number 3 will give you 21. This 21 plus this 3 on the top, that is this one, will give me 24. So if I convert it into an improper fraction, it will be 24 by 7. These are the types of fraction. Now let's go on to something called addition of fractions. Funda is very simple. Let's say, how do you add fractions? Adding fractions. Okay. First condition to adding fractions, as I said it earlier, you can compare apples to apples. You can add apples to apples, but you cannot add apples and oranges together. Going by that, 4 by 6 plus 3 by 6 plus 2 by 6, can it be added? Absolutely. So what can it be? 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9. You will get 9 by 6, improper fraction. Convert it into a, what can it be converted to? Simple, you will only get a mixed number. It will be 1 because, let me do it in another step. This 9 by 6 is nothing but 6 by 6 plus 3 by 6. And what does it become? This fellow will become 1 and this one will be half. So it is 1 and a half. The next one. This is an interesting condition when the denominator is different, right? Then you cannot add it because they're different things. Let's say if I add 2 by 6 plus 3 by 8. Yeah? The simplest way to do this is take a common denominator of 48. How do I take 48? 6 times 8 is 48, right? And 6 goes in 48. How many times does 6 go in 48? 8 times. So I will have 2 multiplied by 8 plus 8 goes in 48 6 times. So 3 multiplied by 6. So I will have a total of 16 plus 18 divided by 48, which is 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 20 is 34. 34 by 48. Can I reduce it further? Absolutely, because they're all gerade Nummer or you have them as even number, right? So 34 divided by 48 will give me 17 by 24, right? So that's my number. Now, this is how we add numbers where the denominators are different. You cannot add them straight up. You have to find a common number in which this one also will go, this one also will go, giving no remainder, no rester, right? So this is how adding fractions with different denominators work. We have discussed two things about adding fractions. One is adding fractions with the same denominator. Next one, adding fractions with different denominators. And there is a third kind, which is adding fractions with a whole number. So let's get to that. Let's say we have to add 3 plus 4 by 7. In other words, a full number, a whole number, and you have a fraction. You have to start thinking that this 3 ideally means 3 by 1. Okay? And 4 by 7 is written 4 by 7. So if I have a whole number, just remember that it has a denominator of 1, right? And then you have 4 by 7. Go on to add this, which will be 7 is my denominator. 1 goes in the 7 times. So I will have 21, because 3 times 7 is 21. And then 7 goes in the 7 once. So 4 times 1. I will multiply 4 by 1. So that will give me 4, which will be 25 by 7. Let's say you want to add 3 by 7 plus 10 by 13 plus 8 by 9. If you look at this number, I need a common denominator first, because they're all different. They're all different from each other, right? So what I will do is, if you notice, the numbers will not have a lot in common. So my best bet would be to find factors. Obviously, I'll find factors for these. I have to guess a number through which all these numbers will go in. So let's say 13 times 9. 13 times 9 is 27. 2. Wait, 13 times 9 is nothing but 90 plus 27. 90 plus 27 being 117. I need to find something for 7 as well. Actually, see, this is what it is. They're all prime numbers, so it's a bit difficult. And this one, of course, not as a prime number. But anyway, so...
Yeah, 7 is also not a prime number. 1 times
7 is a prime number.
1 time. Oh, yeah, true.
13 is also a prime number. 9 is not. But anyway, we look at it as 7 times. One of the ways would be 7 times 9 times 17 times 9. This is the easiest way to look at it. 7 times 13 is what? Is equal to 21 to, this is 91. 91 times 9 is what? Wait, 1. This is outright stupid. This is too big a number to pick out as an example. But anyway, I got it. So what I will do is, wait, 9's are 81. Okay, this is my so-called denominator. Good God, what a nightmare of a number I got. The simplest way to find a denominator in this case is to multiply all these numbers, because you know there is no chance you are going to find a denominator that will work. Here you have 2 prime numbers. They're actually problematic numbers. You don't find very many denominators for them, but go ahead and multiply all of them. Let's say for fun, 819. 7 times 13 would be 91. 91 times 9, 819. 7 goes in 819. 13 times 9. So that will be 7 to 117 times it goes. 3 into 117. This is the number. Yeah. Plus 13 goes in 819. 819 divided by 13. Okay, this will be 18 here. 6. 78 it comes to. Okay. 6 times it goes here. And that means I have 81 here. So that is 3 remainder. 39 divided by 13 is 3. So it will be 63. So 10 times 63 plus 8. Here the example of 9. How many times will 9 go in 819? 91 times. So into 91 there. 8 into 91. We have 3 times 117, which is equal to 351 plus 630 plus 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 9 is 72 divided by 819. So now let's add 351 plus 630 plus 728. That is equal to 9, 8, 10. We usually carry on. The carry-ons you guys write at the bottom, we write at the top. That's the only difference. Just don't get confused by that. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 17. So I have a number of 1709 divided by 819. Roughly, I can tell that this number goes twice. I have my whole number, which will be 2, which will give me 1600. Approximately 819 plus 819 is equal to 19 plus 19 is 38. 800 plus 800 is 1600. So you have 1638. 17. Let me do this way. A crazy large number there. 1709 minus 1638. So you get 1, again 6, and here 10 minus 3 is 7. 271 divided by 819. Yeah, this is the number. So this is the answer for 3 by 7 plus 10 by 13 plus 8 by 9. Right? When you cannot find the denominator that easily, just go ahead and multiply all of them and write the big number down. Let's move on to subtraction. Subtracting fractions. First rule that we will deal with is when the denominators are the same. So let's say I have 21 by 36 minus 5 by 36. 21 minus 5 is equal to 16 by 36. If I want to reduce this further, make this number a smaller one, is equal to 4 times 4, 16. And then I have 9 times 4 is 36. Cancel these numbers. Then I'm left with 4 by 9. This is the answer in the reduced form. Okay, simplest condition where the denominator is the same. Now let's go on to a little bit complex. Next one. 11 by 13 minus 4 by 7. I want you to pay attention to this fraction. 11 by 13, 4 by 7. If I analyze this number, what is the half of 13? Half of 13 is 6.5. In other words, 6 and a half. And if you notice, this number is way more than 6 and a half. This one, 4 by 7. What is the half of 7? 3 and a half. This is only a little bit more than half. So I know for a fact that this number is much bigger than this one. Now let's get to the subtraction bit. Let's find a denominator. I'm just going to go with 91. 13 goes in 91 7 times. So I will multiply this 11 by 7. Minus 7 goes in 91 13 times. Minus 4 into 13. My answer is 11 times 7 is 77. Minus 4 times 13, 12, okay, 52 divided by 91. So 77 minus 52 is 5. 25 divided by 91. Let's go on to the third type of subtraction. 11 minus 3 by 8. Let's make it bigger. 11 minus 11 by 13. Let's take a fun number, right? Now, remember, 11 by 11 means 11 with a denominator of 1 minus 11 by 13. 13 is my denominator. 11 times 13, right? Or 13 into 11 minus 11. 13 goes in 13 once, so there's only one time of that. So 11 times 13 is 143. 143 minus 11 divided by 13. So this will be 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. And then I have a 1 divided by 13. 132 divided by 13 will be 10 times whole number. Leftover or my rester is equal to 2 divided by 13. Let me check my answer. 13 times 10 is 130. 130 plus 2 is 132. So am I getting this number? Absolutely. So this is how you will subtract from a whole number. So remember this. This is the third kind of subtraction when it comes to subtraction in fraction. Now let's move on to multiplying fraction. How do you multiply in fraction? First case, 4 by 8 into 3 by 5. Numerator will be multiplied with the numerator of the next fraction. Multiply the numerators together, 12. Multiply the denominators together, 8 times 5, 40. Answer. Next one. Let's say 5 by 7 into 13 by, let's do it this way, 13 by 9. 13 times 5 times 13, 65. 65 divided by, what is this? 7 times 9 is 63. 1, 2 by 63. Well, this is your normal multiplication of fractions. Next one. Let's say I have 13 by 15 into 6. How do I do that? This is a whole number. Simple. 6 is nothing but 13 by 15 into 6 by 1. That's what it is. Now with this one, I can go ahead and say 5, 2. 3 goes in 15 5 times. 3 goes in 6 2 times. So 13 by 5 into 2, which will give me 26 by 5. And this means 5 is my whole number, 1/5. Let's do one more example. Let's say 8 by 17 into 11. 11 times 8 is 88 divided by 17. I can further write this as a small number. 17 times 5 is 35. 5. Then this one goes there, 35. Okay, 5 is my whole number. 85, remainder 3. 88 minus 85 is 3, 17. Yeah, that's the answer, correct. So this is how you tackle multiplication of fractions. Now this is with the whole number. Let's move on to the next one. We have something called division in fractions, dividing fractions. 4 by 8 divided by 2 by 6. In our place, in India, where I come from, we write division like this. Here you guys write it like this. Remember that. Division and this is equal to. This equals. Division is written like this. It's written like this here. So remember that. Don't get confused. 4 by 8 divided by 2 by 6 will be 4 by 8. It is one long line over here. And then I have my 2 by 6 written. This is the normal way of writing. Now, when this happens, you have to do a different kind of game here, which is 4 by 8 multiplied by. Why? Because the opposite operation of division is multiplication. Multiplication and division are the opposites, like North Pole and South Pole. Likewise, addition, subtraction are the opposites of each other. So likewise, 4 by 8 into, and do I write it as 2 by 6? Absolutely not. I will write it as 6 by 2. And I've done the opposite of division here. So I will do the opposite of this, or in other words, the inversion, inverted version. What is the inverse of the 2 by 6? 6 by 2. whatever is in the numerator will go to the denominator. Whatever is in the denominator will go to the numerator. So that's the fun bit of it. Now what we'll have is 24 divided by 16. So now with 24 divided by 16, very easy number. You have 6 times 4, which is 24. Again, 4 times 4, which is 16. So we cancel this out. Our answer is 6 divided by 4, 6 by 4. We can further make it smaller by saying 1, 2 by 4. It's like saying now 1, 2 by 4 is nothing but, I hope you wrote this down, 1, 2 by 4 is equal to 1, 1 by 2. So this is the answer for this problem. The next one is how to divide when you have whole numbers in the game. So let's say I have 7 by 6 divided by 4, right? So in other words, again, understand it. 7 by 6 divided by 4 by 1. Yeah, this is how you understand it. So 7 by 6 into, let's do the switching, inversing our fractions. 4 by 1 will become 1 by 4. So it is equal to 7 divided by 24. Yeah. So this is how you will handle full numbers. Now let's say, okay, so 7 by 6 divided by 4 means ideally anytime you have a whole number, just remember you have to write the whole number and then you put a line like this underneath and write 1. 4 by 1, 6 by 1, 7 by 1, and like that, so on. Now let me do something a bit different. So this is 8 divided by 5 by 6. Understand it as 8 by 1 into 6 by 5. Go ahead and multiply. I cannot make this small or I can't reduce anything because there is no common number that I can reduce it with. So 48 divided by 5, whereby I get 9 as my whole number, 45, 3 is my leftover, divided by 5. This is the answer. So I've covered addition, adding fractions using the 3 different types. One is the same denominator, different denominator. How do you add when you have a whole number? Same thing with subtraction. And I have dealt with the same kind of situations with multiplication and division. I hope you guys found this video useful, and do go ahead and subscribe to my channel to catch me for videos on future topics. Topics you would like me to discuss, go ahead and write to me. On that note, I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.